Good, perfect. So now we have an application that has login and register, and it has a local database where we can log in. So let's see what is the next step that we have from this tutorial. So we do have this context, so I think I can explain that better. This is adding too much. Dashboard component, what is that one for? Home component, yeah, no. So let's do this. So now that we have a user, remember that when we created the routes, we created another one that was for getting what is the current route. Actually, let me grab my glasses. I noticed something was missing. Good, glasses on, hopefully everything working. So basically what we are going to do, this is the user endpoint. So what I'm going to do is that, for instance, let's say that in the navigation bar that we created here, let's go and create a new state variable. So remember that for doing that, you just import this use state hook from React. And then I'm also going to need an use effect, because I am going to go to the backend. So let's say that I do that in here. So actually, let me do this right away instead of doing it in the navigation bar. The one that is loading the navigation bar, if I'm not mistaken, is my base template. Right? Yes, it is. So I am going to be doing these two in here. And then in my base template, I am going to create like my user and set user, and I'm going to use my effect. Remember that effects are things that you want the component to do once it finishes loading. And then this is what I want it to do. And then this is an array that contains what are the dependencies. So basically, what I wanted to do is that, yes, I guess I wanted to do that exactly. So I wanted to do fetch of that, and then this is going to get me what is the current user. Let me see how we have that in there. This is just a get. So because it is just a get, then I can just, I guess, just do this one, and then I can await that, and I like what this one is doing. And if it gets that, then if it is okay, then basically convert that to JSON and then put that data in here. I have to make sure I am actually going to return it in the user. So since I'm returning it in the user, it's actually going to be data user, and if not, the user is going to be null. Okay. Having done that, then I can catch an error and then just show this one and then falsify in there. And basically, I just want to fetch my user. Okay. And then this one is angry at me. Why are you angry? So use effect, this one, this one closes this one, and then this one closes that one. Perfect, yes. And then now what I can do is that I can tell to this one that the user that you have is going to eat this one to the navigation bar. And then in the navigation bar, I can go and receive my user. And then, although I later could go and do it in a different way. And then what I am going to do in here is that if the user is already logged in, I actually like that one. Then I can go and do that, and if not, then I do this thing. So let's take a look at what Copilot wrote in there. So basically, if I receive a user, then I want you to create a couple links, one for checking the profile, which I haven't done, is going to be left in there, and then another one which is going to be logout. Okay. For the moment, since me comment that out, and then I'm going to say welcome. Yes, welcome, and then the username, and then you can log out in there. We can put this on a little leaf, as you can see in here, and then hopefully that will work. And then let's go and see in the base template we have this thing. Yes, so that should be it. So if I do this, then I can go and say john@example.com, and then secret, and then of course everything crashes. I wonder if I have an error, or probably because I don't have my backend running. So I can do this one, and then now you can see we have welcome John, and I can do the logout. And logout, will the logout actually work? It takes me here, and then let me see what the logout does. Yes, so direct, can I do this one? I think so. If I come here, then I have that. Then if I come here, then I do John at example.com, and then secret, and then that logs me in. And now you can see I have this thing in here, and then I have the logout button. And if I do the logout, I wonder if there is an error, like should I just do this thing, and I want to redirect to, I guess, yeah, let's send it here. Perfect. Am I getting an error here? Not there, not here. And then this is app logout, and then in the navigation bar, yes, it should be this one, and that one, it's supposed to be a post method. So let's actually make it a get method. So I don't want to be doing logout using post. Example, and then secret, and then if I log out, yeah, perfect, and then we're done. Good. So as you can see, the whole idea with React is that, and I'm sorry, the welcome John, it's a kind of ugly, but instead of the server sending us the user, we have to query from React what is the current user. And that's what we are doing in here. In our base template, we created a state variable that contains the current user, and then we're using a use effect, and that use effect is fetching the user from the backend using the API point that we created, and then it's setting that as the state variable. So that way you can keep context. And then the next thing we're going to do is that we want to pass that user to all of our components, so they know that, for instance, this create listing maybe it shouldn't show up until the user is authenticated. So, and we are going to be doing that using a context. Okay.